So let's get practicing, okay? My name is Bob DeBoo. This is the Building Blocks of Bass. Really glad you're here with me today. What's up, Open Studio? Happy Monday, everybody. We're really glad to be here. We're going to talk about something a little bit naughty today, minor pentatonics. The reason they're naughty for us, particularly, is because we're getting slightly away from the bass roll today. Typically, we talk about bass lines, you know, learning tunes, doing the bass roll type of stuff, but we're gonna get in some soloing ideas today. That's the whole idea, right? So it's all about minor pentatonics, and I mean, there's no shortage of minor pentatonic videos on YouTube. So what's different with this video today is that we're gonna find some musical ways to play them over some modern sounding, we'll just call them jazz chords, but you can find these type of chords in any modern music, you know, hip hop, R&B, church, you know, like anything. So we're talking about like major seventh chords, minor ninths, some sharp 11s, some sus chords. So we'll get into all of that, but let's talk about the basics of the minor pentatonic. And again, you can find a bunch of this online. We're just going to go through it real quick. We'll talk about what we're going to practice, and then we'll get into some practicing, okay? So downstairs here, we're just going to talk about what the minor pentatonic is. I've got the Dorian scale written here, which is all the white keys on the piano, right? Now that scale is not exclusive for making a minor pentatonic. It's just the example I use. You could use Aeolian, you know, you could use the different variations of the minor scale. What's crucial though is the notes that are here in blue, okay? So this is just taking away certain notes from this scale, particularly just the second and the sixth, right? So that we're left with the one, the root, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the seventh, and the root again, right? So that all fits in the minor pentatonic scale, okay? So that's a brief description of the minor pentatonic scale. One more note is that the D minor pentatonic is the exact same as the F major pentatonic. So if you've already shedded that, we're already good. And the major pentatonic is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Cool? All right, so we've got that under our belt. Let's find some ways that we can use this. So let's find some nice chords that'll really work well with this minor pentatonic scale. And we'll just go over that real quick. So the first one that comes to mind is the D minor 7. Okay, so I'm gonna put up a thing. This is just like an audio reference. I'm here by myself, so we're using iReal Pro. It's what we've got, so we're working with it. Okay, so let's play this D minor pentatonic scale over it. So 1, 2, 3. Right, so every note fits. On that front. You could start from any degree of the scale, like the third, fourth, right? Same thing. Right. So, etc. Fifth, the seventh. You can keep building up from there. So that's definitely step number one for making the minor pentatonic sound real pretty. You can use it on a minor chord just from the root. All right. Let's take it a step further though. And we're going to keep the same scale happening, except now we're going to use this sound. So this is a B flat major 9 chord, okay? So I'll play the root. So what you're hearing in the track along with that is the B flat major 9 chord just expressed on like a cheap little vibes thing, you know. Right, so that's B flat major 9. And from the root, being a bass player, that's the root. A lot of times the tendency is to solo from the root, being a bassist, right? And you can totally do that. There's nothing wrong with that. First thing that comes to mind is that you could play the minor pentatonic from the 6th, which is not what I have down here, but you could play from G to get away from starting from the root. What we want to do is to get up above the chord itself. Well, not close to it. We're going to put a 9th in there. By using this D minor pentatonic sound. Okay, so let's try that. We're starting from the third of B flat major. And let's see what that sounds like playing the scale. Try with me. 1, 2, 3, go. So when we do that, we've got the third, fifth, 13, 7th, 9, and the 3rd again, right? And so practicing, if you see a major 9th chord, practicing playing this minor pentatonic shape, thinking about it from the 3rd is a good plan. So once you get more comfortable with this, you can start from any of these degrees of the scale. What we can see, it's adding in some really pretty notes inside of this. We get the 3rd again, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, and the 3rd again, right? So it gets us up, starting away from the music chord, right? So that's another nice chord. Let's look at another nice way to use the minor pentatonic, specifically D minor pentatonic for these examples. And just to start off before I play the track, we're going to look at E flat major 9 with a sharp 11. So the major 9 chord with the sharp 11 is a really commonly used chord. We'll get to hear what that sounds like first, but let's just look theoretically, or we'll hear that in a minute. But first, let's look theoretically here what's happening. We're going to start from the 7th degree, so thinking a half step below the root. You don't need to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You don't need to count up. The 7th, the major 7th is always a half step below the root, right? So don't worry about counting way up there, just it's a half step below the root. And if you're thinking of a dominant 7th, well, that's just a whole step below the root, right? So don't overthink this stuff. So if we're going to play on a major 9 sharp 11th chord, we're going to start from the 7th. And this is comes directly from Christian McBride's Great Your Sound is Your Signature course. We work on this in the GPS sessions pretty extensively. So if you are interested in that course, check it out. Come practice. I host the guided practice sessions at the end of the course, and we really shed on this sound quite a lot, playing these minor pentatonics, specifically over this sound. So let's hear what that sounds like. Here's E flat major 9, sharp 11, and I'm playing the root here. So we hear root 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, sharp 11th, and we get all of those great notes, those upper extension notes, inside of this minor pentatonic shape. So let's play the minor pentatonic shape and hear how it sounds like this. And here's the root. Right? So 1, 2, 3, go. Right, so we hit the 7th, 9th, 3rd. And we're really not thinking anything differently than what we had just been practicing or thinking about, or talking about it, of the D minor pentatonic shape. We've not changed any notes, we've just changed the chord that we're using it on. So that's what we want to practice. We're going to shed on. I've got a few loops that we're going to practice on, but this is just talking about it. Right? So every note that we get inside of there fits and sounds really pretty, sounds really nice, and it's still coming from that D minor pentatonic shape. All right, we've got a couple more before we get into some shedding ideas. And you can also fit this shape over either a G9 sus or a G minor 9th, G minor 11th, or a G minor 7. So, but this time we're starting from the 5th. So if we think back to that D minor 7, we started from the root. B flat major 9, we started from the 3rd. E flat major 9 sharp 11, we're starting from the 7th. And here we are thinking about it from the 5th. So it's still the same D minor pentatonic scale, but we're thinking about what chord we're putting it over. Okay, so if we look really quick, here's our 5th. The F gives us the 7th in relation to G, so it's a minor 7th, right? We hit the root there, we hit the 9th, we hit the 11th, and then we're back to the 5th again, right? Okay, so all this is still the nice stuff. The naughty bit's coming in a little bit, so hang with me, okay? We're just discussing this, and we're going to practice it a little bit more. Let's hear what this sounds like, though. So I'm just going to pull up a little G sus, and here's the root. Right? Just thinking G, C, D, F, G. And you can put different notes in there for sure. But that's the core, that's the crux of this scale, or this sound. So let's play the D minor pentatonic over this sound. You got that root in your mind, in your ear? So 1, 2, 3, go. Let's do it again. differently. So anything that we shed on this D minor pentatonic scale, we can use that over these different chords. We just want to get quick with thinking where we want to start that from, and then eventually we'll just know what that shape kind of feels like, right? So I also have written here in this graphic that it can work over G minor. Let's check out what it sounds like with that sound. A lot of similar notes. If we play this D minor pentatonic shape, we're not hitting a B flat though, right? Not a big deal, we don't have to. For soloing, it's not our job, right, to really do that. So, and here's that root. You can hear that sound is in there, right? So now let's play the D minor pentatonic sound. Ready? Let's do it descending. We haven't done that yet, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Right. And I'm just gonna let this keep jamming for a minute. We'll talk about some different shapes that we can use. So this looks like a lot of notes. It's basically, it is kind of. This is definitely coming right from Your Sound is Your Signature as well. So if you like how this ends up, check out the course, Your Sound is Your Signature, Christian McBride's great course. We're doing this over a G minor 9 right now. But let's do the shape. We're gonna play 4 notes at a time. So these are groups of 4, and in this instance, we're just descending. So it's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's just the same pentatonic, that minor pentatonic, but in groups of 4. So let's do it in 8th notes. So what we're doing is we're starting on the root of the minor pentatonic, D, playing the next 3 notes after that, or in a group of 4, and going to the next note, descending inside of the pentatonic scale. So that's C. So now C. Then from A. Then from G. You can do this from the 3rd. And then we're back to them. But all of that is still inside of that D minor pentatonic shape, right? I think I just wrote it out this way, so we've got a nice even 4/4 bar to line up. Remember, you can start this from any place. You can do this up as well, etc., etc., right? That's the concept. But we want to practice that a little bit over all of these chords and the different shapes, right? So let's pull up a different chord and make sure that this pattern still works. Let's go back to that lovely, nice, beautiful E flat major 9 sharp 11 sound. And here's the root. So it's a different color entirely, right? It's a different chord. We want to get used to what that sounds like as much as anything. Now let's play this shape, okay? Let's do it in 8th notes first, and then we'll go into 16ths. Right? So how about 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't do the 4th. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 5th, 4th. It just lines up real nice, right? We're hitting all these really glorious, beautiful, nice notes, right? So let's check out another shape, and let's just keep this chord going. So now here's a different shape, keeping with this like negativity thing, descending. We're gonna start getting a little more naughty. Now we're breaking up. This is a broken minor pentatonic scale, right? So what we're doing here is we're basically not enclosing, but we're playing around the scale, getting to the next note in the scale. So you see we're hitting D, then we're gonna move up to F, we're moving up to G, A, C, and then finally D. So that's the minor pentatonic shape or scale, and we're just finding different ways to do it. So if we did that same shape to the F, we would hit D, G, F, 2, 3, 4. To the G, we'd play F, A, and then G. Right? And then again to the D, we do C, F, D. And all of that fits really pretty over that E flat major 9th sound. Let's play this line, okay? So how about 1, 2, 3. shapes under our fingers, it's a really good idea to mix and match, like when we're making lines. You can play your minor pentatonic scale, up or down, you can break it up, you can do those groups of 4. So something like that would be maybe like this. 2, 3, 4. Something like that would work, and remember we're still over this sound. Shapes that we just shedded, right? So here's broken. Groups of 4. And definitely realize that the scale is not inside of one octave. You can go higher, you can go higher, you can go lower. Just not hit an F sharp there, which actually brings me to the naughty part I wanted to talk about. Okay, so everything is cool with this, right? That pentatonic sound. Definitely want to get that in your ears, under your fingers. You'll hear that a lot more than when you practice it, because it's going to get in your ears and you'll ear train from it. So here's the naughty bit, right? So what we're going to do is add in some chromaticism to this minor pentatonic scale. Can't speak today. It's just a thing apparently. But so let's check it out. So every note here that is in red is filling the gap between a whole step in the minor pentatonic scale. So we're going to descend on the scale. So if we go from D down to C, you can just throw in this C sharp when you're practicing, when you're coming up with lines. And it's going to sound okay depending on how you use it. Okay, so let me bring back this G sus sound. And we'll see what that sounds like, okay? It sometimes works better than others, but it's a thing to have in your ears. So check this out. So 1, 2, just from the D to the C. If I sat on it, that might be an issue. It sounds pretty tense until you resolve it. But going in between them, I mean, use it at your discretion, right? Nothing wrong with that. Our next whole step is between A and G. We're talking about D minor pentatonic, so between the 5th and the 4th. Here is some more naughtiness, right? This is the chromatic bit from. So you can play this and play the rest of the minor pentatonic scale. You can do it into your groups of 4. You can do however you feel it. Now the root of this chord is still a G. So if you open up a theory book, it might say not to play an A flat over this G sus chord and play a natural 9. I mean, you can play flat 9s over sus chords, for sure. You can play natural 9s, but it might not tell you to play both. Works better higher. Depends on how you use it, you know. Is still the D minor pentatonic with a little of that chromaticism just from the D and C and then A and G. Let's check it out from the 4th to the 3rd. So this is G, F. So it works. Make sure it works on a different chord and it's not just happening. That was our G9 sus. Let's go back to the B flat minor 9. I mean the B flat major 9 chord and see if it's going to work on that. And then we'll practice this through some chord progressions that I've got ready for us. Okay. So here's B flat major 9. Here's the root now. So definitely a different color entirely, right? But we can still play the minor pentatonic starting from the 3rd. So we'll get used to that. Go around the cycle of 4ths. Find it in chord progressions that you're used to. Insert that minor pentatonic shape. Get used to that sound. But let's see. Does this naughty minor pentatonic thing work over B flat major? Let's try it. So just play this line the way it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. you know? It sounds a little soulless just doing it that way. But if you add in, you get a little bit more comfortable with the outsideness of it. Then it can be fun, right? So this is B flat major, so you might think immediately, oh, I gotta stay inside the chord. Maybe not with that. All of that works, and I'm just throwing in those chromatic shapes, or like glisses, grace notes leading into the minor pentatonic. So if we mix and match some of this, that all works, right? At least I think it works. Let me know in the comments, does that sound terrible to you? Is this something that you already do, maybe intuitively? Because it feels like a more musical adaptation of how to use this scale. And honestly, you can kind of do this naughty thing to any, I mean, maybe not in every circumstance, but you can throw in these half steps between whole steps, this little chromatic stuff in between whole steps of a lot of scales, and it's going to work out pretty well as long as you get used to it, get used to that sound, right? So I've got a couple chord progressions we can shed these ideas on now, and we'll get used to thinking about like what note we're starting from or what degree of the chord of the moment that we're starting from. Let's just start here, okay? And you can find the PDF downstairs. I've also got some tracks put together. You know, they are what they are. They were made in iReal Pro. They are what they are. You know, we're practicing, we're shedding. Just wanted to be quick. You can do the same thing. It's easy enough to do. So that's all I'm playing this from. I'm sure you know, if you're familiar with iReal Pro, what that sound is. So here we are. So here's our first chord progression. Again, it is what it is. It's just a little chord progression I whipped up, but it's all major 7th chords, major 9th chords, really, because, right, we're starting from the 3rd. So here's the top. We've got B flat, G, G major, E, right, then to F, but they're all the same quality chords, so we can shed on it, right? Just get this in your sound, get it in your ears, I mean, play it along. Right, how about one more time, just hearing the roots. Maybe not with all of that mess. Or that. Now let's think about it from where we're going to start a scale from. D is the 3rd of B flat major. B is the 3rd of G major. G sharp. A. So play this with me. This is the notes, the chords that I have in blue down there. These are just the major thirds of each of these chords. Hit those so we can get used to this sound, right? That's a little bit of that broken shape, right? Let's do our groups of 4 over this. Maybe just the first group of 4 and see how that feels. 2, 3, 4. Something like that. And again from A now. In time, hopefully. Can we do 2? How about 3? Again. I know I'm anticipating. Sorry. Right? So you can keep doing that. Now we want to get that shape inside of our lines that we're going to work on soloing from, right? So let's work on the broken sound a little bit. You can do this up higher too, of course. It gives you this really pretty. Take me a minute. You keep going with this. practicing those shapes, trying to mix and match between them using the scales, whatever other pentatonic shapes you come up with. You want to make it musical, so you can use these ideas and just put them in practicing, right? Let's play a little bit over this, just a little bit, okay? I'll play the roots, you can jam on this. 2, 3, 4. It's D minor pentatonic. B minor pentatonic. A minor. Try it again. D minor pentatonic. B minor pentatonic. You can see all this, so I don't need to say that loud. Cool. One more time, then I'm gonna practice on this a little myself. You can practice with me. I can't hear you. You just have to hear me, I guess. But if you want these tracks, get them downstairs. So here we go. So that's just some ideas on how to fit those different shapes that we were practicing earlier. And now let's look at another progression, okay? That was all major ninth chords. Let's look at minor ninth chords now. Okay, so you want to get quick. Now these are all the same quality chords, right? But you know, when in real life this might not be the loop that's all the same quality chords. So you want to get quick at knowing like where you want to start them from. So if it's a minor ninth chord, there are other ways to do this for sure. Like this is not the bottom line of like the only places you can use minor pentatonics, by the way, right? But these are good ones, and these are the ones we're shedding today. So let's check out this chord progression. It's all minor ninth chords. We'll do the same thing, but there's some different chords, different scales in here, right? So I'm going to start from the 5th of G, 5th of A flat, 5th of E flat. So these are all minor pentatonics. Can you hear it? Make sure you get the root progression in your ears. It's really going to help you in case you get lost and turned around. So let's play our shapes. Try to get these shapes in here. We're practicing, right? How about the broken? Mix and match. It's just the minor pentatonic shape. Trying to get that naughty chromatic bit in there. So where is that? Up a half step. That's from the root of the minor pentatonics. Do it from the 5th. There. You know, and there's the other places you can do it from the 4th to the 3rd. accidents. Like on this E flat minor 9, I just hit a C. And it sounds okay, right? Especially coming from these shapes. So where would I do that? It can get out of that sound we're playing. Not always. But you want to use your ears on that, right? I'll play the roots. Keep shedding. Okay, so let's move on to another chord progression. We've hit our major ninth chords, we've hit our minor ninth chords. Let's do a little bit on the major 7 sharp 11th chords, okay? Again, this is coming from this, I'm stealing directly from Christian's course, Your Sound is Your Signature. Check out the course. We shed this in the guided practice sessions at the end a lot. We do this with all the keys, we do a couple different shapes. It's really good work and some stuff that you can utilize and you're playing pretty quickly. These minor pentatonics are kind of, you know, they're not too tricky to get. Now on the major 7th, sharp 11th, I said they're not too tricky to get. There are different levels of understanding this, but I think it's a good, you know, it's pretty simplistic in its nature. So starting from the 7th of the major 7, sharp 11, major 9, sharp 11, all of that works. Again, so if the chord is G, and that's me just going up, this is the root, 3rd, 5th, major 7th, 9th, sharp 11, and of course you can get up to the 13th too, right? So all of that's going to be present in this F minor pentatonic. So F sharp, I said F, but I mean F sharp. So F sharp is the 7th, A is the 9th of G, B of course is the 3rd of G, C sharp is the sharp 11, E is the 13th or the 6th, and then you're back to F sharp again, okay? You do the same thing down a half step for the next chord over here. So here's our loop of this one. Things are changing here, right? Let me put a little bit more bass in this so we can hear this in the track. Again, this is what's coming through on iRuby, but let's practice our shapes on this. Just the scale itself. Down a half step. That's the 7th. Right? Just trying to hit the roots of each of these minor pentatonics right now so I can know where my landing point is. Let's do the shapes though. You can keep going for a while on this one because these chords last longer. With it. All of these are, you know, like, they're all ideas to practice for sure, right? Just keep shedding over me while I'm talking, by the way. You don't have to stop everything. I don't know what you're doing, but you don't have to stop talking, stop playing while I'm going, obviously. But you want to make all of these ideas musical, right? As much as you can, even if you're playing with iRuby Pro, right? No offense, iRuby Pro, I love y'all. Nope. Singing along with this helps too. enough of that one, yeah? Let's hit our last one real quick, and we'll head on over to the comments, talk about it. Wanted to hit the dominant 7th or dominant 9th sus sound real quick. And this is the, I just changed my bit. This is the chord progression that I've got here. Again, you can find these loops downstairs. They come along with the PDF. They're just like a little MP3 loops. They have a different beat under them, which is kind of, yeah, it is what it is again. But you can grab those while you grab the PDF downstairs and just put them on loop, like in iTunes or wherever you put them. They're just 2 times through each progression. But you can practice them as much as you want to. My gift, right? They're free. It'll cost you a thing. So here's our chord progression here. These are the dominant sus chords, right? So again, starting from the 5th, but this is just in different keys. From the roots. But there's nothing wrong from soloing or playing some ideas from the root or playing something towards the bottom of the chord. We're bass players too. Nothing wrong. I mean, for any instrument, I think starting from the bottom of the chord is no problem. But bass players tend to do that a bunch. So getting up above, that's the whole thing that's happening here. So let's play some of our shapes under this, okay? How about the groups of 4 to get started? So we'll start on C. Starting on the root every time too. A lot of the times I've been starting on the roots, but start these groups of 4 from any place in the minor pentatonic. Start from the 5th maybe. And just alter your lines. See if it works. I'm adding in extra notes again. Cool. So that's fun. Thanks for, if you're just listening, thanks for indulging me on that. But that's some fun stuff to practice. And again, all that's coming from our beautiful minor pentatonic. And here's the naughty bits again. Where is it? Our little naughty bits with some of the chromaticism. Just anywhere there's these half steps. These are not the only places, by the way. You can use chromatic scale over all of this if you're so inclined. But thanks for practicing with me on the minor pentatonic shapes like that. It's a lot of fun to do, and you can integrate it pretty quickly once you get once you get that in your ears, and it's really singable too. Pentatonic is like the most common shape that there is in most music, not just jazz, whatever. So all right, here we go. So let's see. I'm going to jump into the comments now. If you're still hanging out, leave me some comments. We're just going to talk. I'm going back to where we were saying happy birthday to Stella at the moment. Yeah, happy birthday. Stella's turning 5 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Stella. Future Stella, if you're watching this, you're all grown up. I love you. So anyways, lots of friends in here. So happy to see a bunch of people. My buddy Wayne is here. What's up, Wayne? Good to see you. Good to hang the other day. Yo, Pete, what's up? Good to see you, man. Awesome. So many people. I'm not going to be able to say hey. My buddy Max, my photographer extraordinaire. Check out Max. He's got some great photos. All right, Edelson. Good to see you as always, Edelson. So glad you're here. Warren Wolf in the house? I mean, come on. Doesn't get better than that. Warren, it's great to see you here. I'm slightly nervous that you were here, but if you're still hanging, hi. How's it going? I'm Bob. All right, Costa's here. What's up, and happy birthday. Thank you, Costa. She really appreciates it. As you can tell, she wanted to hang out the whole time. She always does. All right, Academia. What's up? I don't know if we've seen you here before. Good to see you, Academia. Welcome to the Building Blocks of Bass. And for everybody that's watching post this live session too, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you get something out of this. Let me know. I always check the comments afterwards too. So, okay. All right, here's definitely an endorsement for Sound is Your Signature from Damien. It's a great course. Great course. So, yeah. Oh, hey, this is my friend Mario. Hey, Mario. We want cake. All right, my older daughter's making a bunny cake right now for her. All right, we'll probably post some pictures of that tomorrow. Okay, let's get into... Yes, here's my buddy Dave. He's always got some insights here. I always appreciate your insights here, Dave. Thanks for being here as always. So the nice thing about this scale is it's so easy to play in movable forms. Yes, absolutely. Rocking back, forth. Yeah, pull-offs, hammer-ons, glisses, some of those extra naughty bits that we talked about, right? Oh, okay, what's up? Hey, I don't want to mispronounce your name, but really glad to see you here. My English is not great either, apparently. Yeah, I'm glad you're learning stuff, man. Obrigado. That's terribly pronounced as well, but thank you. Okay, has such a nice sound. Yeah, it's pretty over these chords, right? Cool. Dave, feels like playing blues guitar. Oh, with the minor pentatonic, yeah, for sure. Especially when you're on the bottom end of the chords, right? Or maybe just some, like from the 6th. I don't know when exactly you made that comment, but yeah, I think, yeah. Does it sound as good ascending? I think it's a matter of the moment. Does it sound good? I think that's our own personal taste coming in there. I appreciate it a little bit as like doing like little bits of it, of course. But going up can be cool, but maybe not the... I take it back. I kind of like that. So mixing and matching, I think having both directions in mind is kind of fun and can work, right? Okay. Damien, I find playing the Dorian modal walking lines, played a lot of those same chromatic linking notes. Yeah. So for me, I think the same thing. Like when we've got these whole steps, you can kind of always fill those in with the half step chromaticism, and it really can add some color, some nice color on top of it already being nice and pretty. You get in some of that naughtiness, right? Those little chromatic things, and it can be a lot of fun. Hey Nick, good to see you again. I think it's been a minute since I saw you here. Glad to have you. Great lines. Haha, nice. All right, Rick, where do I get the backing tracks like these chord structures? So you can get the backing tracks specifically that we're using today. If you click the link for the PDF downstairs, I put some MP3s in there. They're just 2 times through each of these chord progressions. So if you put them in iTunes and put them on loop or whatever else you want to use, just put them on repeat and they'll just keep going for you, right? Hopefully. So the same chord progressions we've got here. I'm using a program called I Will Be. Not affiliated, not endorsing, just using. 7th level. Oh, hell. Nice to see you. Awesome show. Thanks. Welcome to the show. Nick, check out iReal Pro. Right. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yes. Just when you thought you knew how to play pentatonics. Yeah, Mario. I feel the same way about everything. Like it never ends, right? It's always new levels, always new things to do. I won't put Rick's comment up. I refuse to put it up. So anyways, thanks, Rick. All right, Rowdy's back. What's up, man? Cheers. Cheers to you. Happy Monday. Yep, D. Thompson. I'm going to keep working on this too. Yes, yes, indeed. Floyd Shirts. Happy practicing. What's up? Big fan of Floyd Shirts. Good to see you here. Awesome. Okay. Costas. We got another Costa. Oh, Costas. Very nice session. Thanks, Bob. You're welcome. Please, please. Come join us again. We're here every Monday, hanging out. Modal standards can work well on this, right? Hey, for sure. Yeah, Edelson, for sure. So it has to do more with the chord qualities that you're trying to play over. So if you mentioned playing modally, maybe over so what or something like that. Yeah, you can find these shapes in a few different ways. So if you're thinking, that D minor pentatonic or D minor or D Dorian is what I'm trying to say. You could always start from the, sorry, that just came out. I didn't mean that. You could always play the minor pentatonic this way from the root, and that works. That totally works. What we're talking about is getting up a little bit and playing it from the fifth. And when you do that, it makes it almost like a sus chord or a polychord type of idea. But thinking from the A minor. There's other ways you can do it too, of course. You could start like from the E of D minor, and I'm thinking like the modal idea right here. Because that gives you that natural sixth that would be good for Dorian. And always keeping the sound of the chord you're actually playing on is a good call too. So, yep. Hey, Colleen, how you doing? Good to see you here. Happy practicing. Yes. All right, so that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for joining me on the Building Blocks of Bass.